So Devin Haney comes out and says that Zaur Abdullaev is someone that Shakur Stevenson is basically looking at for his July date for his next fight. We know that Shakur has a date right now for July. This is all a rumor. We don't know if it's true or anything. Shakur Stevenson comes out and denies that Devin Haney knows what he's talking about, but at the same time, just gonna be honest. We haven't heard anything else about any other opponents. I know the Williams and Pater thing is not gonna happen right now. I know it's not gonna happen right now. I know for sure it's not gonna happen right now. The reason why I know is because Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis have already tried to do things with Williams and Pater. Shakur Stevenson's already tried to get a fight with Williams and Pater. Not tried as hard as Tank has. That's what people don't realize. Tank has tried to get a fight with Zepeda, and Frank Martin has already tried to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all even more. Frank Martin left Shakur Stevenson. When Shakur Stevenson said, "Oh, Frank Martin ducking." Frank Martin said, "Oh, I'm ducking." Oh, okay. Let me go over here and see what Williams Zepeda want if he want to fight. Since I'm ducking. So, hey, you gotta watch out when you say somebody ducking in boxing because the guy might end up fighting Tank Davis next. That's why Shakur Stevenson in a bad place right now. He thought that and I already knew it. I told people last year, people was laughing and joking and throwing around jokes. Cause I don't play sides, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of all these guys, but I don't play sides. That's kind of where we part ways. Because from what I'm seeing right now, the guys he did have on his resume as far as him ducking him can't really validate it now because Frank Martin about to fight Tank Davis. And you know what's crazy? You had millions of boxing fans that don't know who Frank Martin is. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't even find his name in the search bar. But for some reason, they say he was ducking Shakur Stevenson. Now that Shakur Stevenson went out there and had a bad performance, and he's not looking the same, now everybody's quiet about Frank Martin ducking. Yeah, okay. And he's fighting Tank Davis. That ain't gonna help them worse. So everybody that said he was ducking, they're quiet now, and they act like they never said it. And those most likely the people that be like, oh, I don't want to subscribe to this channel. You know, he tells too much truth. I don't want to hear him talking about the old stuff. Old narratives I've been pushing. Of course I was pushing these narratives. I don't know boxing like that. You know how these guys do. But Devin Haney says that he heard that Shakur Stevenson has an opponent for Zaur Abdullaev, who is a guy that Devin Haney fought many moons ago. So Devin Haney said he feels like Shakur Stevenson's going backwards if he has basically a fight coming up with Zaur Abdullaev. And Shakur Stevenson says it's not true. But at the same time, let's just say if the guy was an opponent or a backup plan. Let's just say Shakur Stevenson has a fight coming up with, let's just say, Raymond Murataia. All right? He's fighting Murataia, right? So let's just say he get Murataia in the ring. And Murataia, well, let's just say Murataia has a situation like with Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu where Murataia gets hurt. Who you think that backup fighter gonna be? Who you think like how Sylvester Fedorov stepped in? They gonna have Abdullaev step in. So at this point right now, if he's not gonna be the option, he gonna be the backup plan. For sure. For sure, he gonna be the backup plan. There's too many guys. We know Shakur ain't finna fight Keyshawn. So the guys he has to fight has to be literally on the other side of that trajectory. He can't go out there and fight Pedraza next and stuff like that. So he has to basically line himself up with a decent opponent right now. You know what I'm saying? Top rankers, they did a lot more in the last fight. I don't think they're gonna try to put as much effort into this fight. I feel like the performance has to be immaculate from Shakur Stevenson, no matter what opponent it is, especially if he's trying to leave the promotional company. So that's basically where everything's going. But right now, I'm not saying anybody's leaving or if they were. I don't know anything about that. But what I'm saying is that he doesn't want to have his last couple of fights, if he was to, just have him look, just less than normal. It's not really good to have a performance like the Del Santos performance. People kind of want to see him hurry up and redeem himself. Dragging him out 8 or 9 months is kind of like, it's not really a good thing. But at the same time, Devin Haney, he knows more about the ins and outs of the sport of boxing than I do. And to be honest with you, that's a name I've heard a lot of people throwing around. Not just with Shakur Stevenson, but with a lot of people. And recently I've heard people had to remind people that Devin Haney's already fought the guy. So for Shakur Stevenson to go out there and fight him, he feels like it's going backwards, you know what I'm saying? Like, he feels like he needs to rematch De Los Santos. Everybody I've heard, what's crazy, you know what's funny? I've heard everybody say he needs to rematch De Los Santos. I've heard a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. When they bring up a fight for Shakur Stevenson, I'm surprised at how many people want to see him rematch De Los Santos. I really am surprised. They want to see him prove himself. Like, bro, you can't go out there and have a performance like that again. Yeah, they want to see him prove himself. If he's really going to engage, or was it just an injury? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of fans have a point, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them haven't seen Shakur Stevenson fight that much, so a lot of these people are new fans as well. A lot of people just starting to realize that Devin Haney's as good as he is, but that goes like that sometimes. It is what it is. It goes like that sometimes. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, these are the guys that are making the biggest and best fights right now. With Shakur Stevenson, he needs to step in the picture. If the Frank Martin fight would have happened, it would have been exactly what he needed, but he's not really doing the deals. But at the same time, yeah, you can kind of make sure these guys trying to make something happen, because it's a lot of he say, she say going on. And it's kind of hurting the sport right now if it doesn't really turn into big fights, because Devin Haney's fighting every 4 months. That's what people have to realize. He's still fighting. Like, his schedules are always up. So people got to realize that he's not somebody who just, messing around. His schedule's always up. But that's all I got, though. Like and subscribe.